That's right. Welcome to another edition of the Knife Party Podcast. This is not going to be a review, and I felt the need to talk about this because it just happened on my lunch break, and it really, really sucks. But we have lost Windham Rotunda, a.k.a. Bray Wyatt, today. It is August the 24th of 2023, so this is going to be a bonus episode. Obviously, we're still going to release stuff and still recording today, but I didn't want to dedicate an episode to him and then have it come out 3 months later. That seemed wrong, but, Anyway, let me introduce my guest, but just before we do that, let's all say a prayer for Bray. So how are you guys doing? By the way, isn't that the most appropriate song when the chorus starts, Cry For Me, Brother?
Yeah, that was
Love One Another.
kind of fucking dark.
Dark as fuck.
Kind of hit the point there. Yeah, no, it's a little fucked up.
So let's just kind of talk about why he's so beloved, and then we'll talk about my theories on what was going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Bray Wyatt started out in NXT, and do you remember the Nexus?
Oh, that was a while ago.
Right? So he was actually in the Nexus. He was Husky Harris, believe it or not.
I don't even remember the name. I barely remember Nexus.
So, like I said, he was a third-generation wrestler.
Randy Orton in Nexus?
No. Randy Orton was in Evolution.
Evolution, okay.
Which was a much better faction. So, Nexus was everyone in NXT before it was called NXT, and it was their development deal. Anyway, that matters not. So, Vince, after seeing him, because Triple H is like, this kid, he's got talent. I'll take him under my wing. This hunter. I know that's not a great hunter, but there you go. So then, after that, Vince saw him and goes like, God damn it! He's a disgusting fat body. Maybe I should call the Hoodcast AF with this voice. So then he said to him, you're fired. And Husky goes back into developmental. And then Dusty Rhodes meets Bray Wyatt, or let's call him by his real name, Windham Rotunda, my bad. And he goes, you got a lot of potential, and I knew your uncle and your dad and your granddad. That's my Dusty. So, do you guys remember IRS? He teamed up with the $1 Million Man. He wore a suit.
I remember the $1 Million Man.
Okay, so his partner was IRS. That was actually Wyndham's dad, and also his brother is Bo Dallas, who, by the way, the same day today signed up for AEW. The same fucking day.
Oh, wow.
So here goes my thoughts on that. Uncle Howdy is Bo Dallas. I don't know if you guys knew that. Uncle Howdy, remember the guy? So you haven't watched wrestling in a minute. When Bray returned, there was a character following him as shadow. His name was Uncle Howdy, and it was kind of supposed to be like the evil that always is following him. So they had a work shoot where Bray was actually going through some shit after the death of Luke Harper. What was his name? Brody. Oh man, I'm sorry, dude. I apologize.
I know him as Luke Harper.
Yeah, Brody's. Oh man, people are yelling at their podcast players right now. Anyway, so yes, when he died, they really went through it because they came up together. They were like brothers, and Brody went over to again AEW, which is weird, and then passed away shortly after. He started the Dark Order. Now, the Dark Order was kind of a spinoff of the Wyatt family. So when Bray comes back, well, Dusty shows him everything, even how to hold the lantern a certain way and how to walk, and just dissected him as a wrestler and put him back together and made him more methodical and do what I like to call in wrestling bursting. So bursting is like what Undertaker used to do, move slow and methodical, and then all of a sudden, boom.
Yep.
Okay.
and then go back to slow, and then boom, and then it makes the match better than if you just have a super kick flip fest where everyone's doing high spots. I'm looking at you, Young Bucks. You're good, but relax, tranquilo, my friend. So friends, yeah. So anyway, there's that. He gets called up to the WWE and instantaneously becomes a number one guy feuding with the likes of like John Cena. Remember when he came out with like the 100 children and they're all going, he's got the whole world.
That was excellent.
In his hands.
Super
he's got
creepy.
the whole world. I might have to end with that.
Yeah.
So, and also too, because you know nothing of like what's going on and well, this isn't modern anymore. This was like, Dad, Bray Wyatt died.
Ray Wyatt?
Bray Wyatt, the wrestler, the Fiend.
There was one the other day that died, but I was thinking it was the guy that was one of the announcers.
No, more importantly, this dude, he died at 36. His dad was IRS. And his grandfather was Rotunda. I forgot his fucking first
Did
name.
he get a COVID shot?
No. We'll talk about it later. You're not even on mic. I just had to tell you. I just had to tell you he had died.
Just died too. One of the older wrestlers. I think he was one of the announcer guys, one of the sidekicks that wrestled years
Well,
ago.
he didn't make the news. Bray Wyatt did.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, thanks,
I haven't
Eli.
heard that one yet.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Breaking news.
Let's see.
Ray Wyatt on Frank Zappa's band.
No, Bray Wyatt.
Okay. I misunderstood.
No, it was. I knew Bray Wyatt from the time when he was coming out with the lantern, the trilby hat, the wife beater, an aloha shirt, and the white pants.
Yeah, and
Like, was it like Miami Vice?
no,
it was a weird,
It was
5-0
no.
sort of
Actually,
thing?
his character was based on
creepy swamp people.
no. Waylon Mercy, who was kind of a take on Cape Fear.
Oh, okay.
So that kind of like Louisiana Gothic is what Bray called it, but a lot of
Yeah.
people just called it
creepy
like
swamp people.
Florida murderer guy, kind of like
Nice.
Yeah, so that was his gimmick for the long. Let me set this to fucking airplane mode, man. I'm sorry.
I loved his entrance then.
Yeah.
Everyone else, when they had the entrance
We're
around that
recording
time,
right now.
they were all
Thank
like
you.
really loud, really fast. It was always some kind of power metal or something. Just,
Oh, sick. Okay.
so, yeah, I mean, everything was big, flashy, and his was slow, quiet.
Yes.
Everything went dark. He stood out, and I really liked that about him.
Exactly. And the other thing, and the reason why he wore white and he dressed in those colors is he said real monsters don't, and this is kind of a shot to like Undertaker and Kane. He goes, the scariest people are the ones you see in daylight. The
Yeah.
ones that don't look like, but then you do. And, but he was immediately, unlike Undertaker, where people like were kind of scared of him, right from the get. He was so charming and so good on the mic. Like you could hear Bray Wyatt talk for hours about like a pizza menu. Like
He
you can go,
falls into that category of wrestler.
like, yeah, he could be like, "Hey man, you getting anchovies on your pizza? I don't like anchovies, but I'll tell you one thing: anchovies need love too, and that's why John Cena, I'm coming for you." And
That's
anchovies.
really good. God damn it, that's good. But no, he was really good at those monologues that would play on the Titanatron while the other guy stood in the ring
Dude,
looking like a jackass.
Even the Firefly Funhouse. God damn the fire. We're so glad that we're all friends. And this is a friendship that will never, ever end. Do you guys remember that?
No.
No? Okay.
I knew
that
him from like
lyric
that
did
era.
not hold
I did
true.
Once he became the demon, I didn't know him. But
Oh, well, The Fiend was great.
yeah.
I really like The Fiend. I saw The Fiend live twice. And I'm telling you, man, even though I was like, I had pretty good seats. But, dude, the crowd had a reaction to Bray like no one else in a long time. Like,
You showed me some of his stuff
Dude.
from as the Fiend, and yeah, he still had it.
well, ever since he came in. And the Fireflies came out. The Fireflies where everyone would take their cell phone, turn on the light, and they'd wave it back and forth, and it looked like the whole and they'd black out all the lights. So the whole arena was being lit by cell phones doing this, and they called it like he called his fans the Fireflies.
That's pretty sick, actually.
Dude, he
that's
was
dope.
full of great ideas. In fact, one of the reasons why he originally left is because him and Vince had issues. Vince said, "You need to lose weight if you ever want to be champion." But he's just a big guy. He's like
Yeah.
built like
he built different.
Yeah, he's just built different. So then he had all these creative ideas, and they never got through. So then he got released, And then he was actually in a movie development deal, not officially, but it was one of those things where, say you do a TV show, or you're on a movie, right?
Right.
You have to sign an NDA.
Yeah.
Okay. So what that means is they might pull the trigger, they might not, but meanwhile, you cannot talk about this and you cannot be in any other project until we pull the trigger, yes or no.
Right.
So after that, he had some mental health issues because of Brody, but there might have something been else going on. Now, he only had one match since return, and it was garbage. I want to erase from my memory because when you hear it, you're going to hate it. The Mountain Dew Code Black match. That happened with LA Knight. Yeah.
That sounds awful. If it's the Mountain Dew match.
But I am removing
maybe
that.
it was the Baja Blast match, I'd be for it, you know?
Yeah, I'm with you. Or the Code Red.
Yeah, the Code Red
Code
match.
Red is, dude, that's like crack.
But yeah.
If it wasn't for Mountain Dew Code Red, I never would have beat Resident Evil in a day. 2, that is. Okay, but here's his last appearance right before that. We're going to work backwards. Okay. So this is right before that match. This was his returning, and you could see on his face, I think, that he knew something was up. So that's what I mean about the Fireflies. All right, here we go, everybody.
Yeah.
Send it.
Look at how beloved he is, though. He just came out. He doesn't even wrestle or anything. He just comes out, and people are like...
I saw this. Yeah. He actually gets emotional.
Welcome back. Welcome.
Thank you, Bray.
I don't know if y'all can read this on me, but I'm incredibly grateful, and I'm really, really nervous to be here. But I never thought of this would happen.
He is not in character. That's him.
Yep.
And this right here, this is just me, okay? This is a version of me that I've never got to introduce to you guys before. This is just me being me, genuine me for the first time.
Anyway, they cut that, unfortunately, because after that, it goes into shenanigans with, everybody, coming out. But to sum it up, after that, and I'm embarrassed that I didn't find the right clip, but it does go into wrestling shenanigans right after that, so it doesn't really matter. But he says, I had to take a break. I lost a lot of good people. And then someone goes, "We love you, Bray." And he goes, "I love you too." And he says it's so funny. But dude, just that reaction, tells you how good of a how beloved he was.
Right.
And when he was supposed to be the bad guy, people would fucking cheer him.
Yes.
That's another reason why Vince didn't like him. He's like, but everyone knows if you get a heel over like The Undertaker or like Kane, they're eventually going to get cheered. Or Jake the Snake.
Yeah.
That's why Jake the Snake never had the world title, is Vince was punishing him. Because he would wrestle Hulk Hogan and people would like Jake.
Yeah.
And,
I used to root for Jake over Hulk Hogan.
I fucking rooted 100%. For
100%.
Jake. Yeah.
I actually had the Jake the Snake, action figure.
So did
Oh, I had the Jake the Snake fucking doll thing back in the day.
Oh, the wrestling buddy?
Yeah.
I remember those.
I forgot about those. Wow.
You forgot about the wrestling buddy? So anyway, in this era, we only got a feud for LA Knight, and it was only one match and a couple of interviews. And was it good? No. Was it? But on the mic, it was mainly on the mic. So it was good until, they got in the ring, and then it was a clusterfuck. And Bray looked out of shape. He looked really, really out of shape. And he got winded really easily. And just a few years before, in 2001, we saw him as The Fiend, and The Fiend had cardio like you wouldn't believe.
He was more in shape when he was the
Dude,
Fiend.
I saw him get hit with a legit, not a fake, a legit fucking toolbox by Seth Rollins. And then, when all the tools were poured over him and he got hit by a chair and shit, dude, and then that looked scary as fuck. They stopped the match. And then after, he just got right up and, gave him the mantle claw. It was dope. And you could tell when the weapons are rubber and when they're not.
Oh, yeah.
These did not look rubber. And, I saw that live. That was No Mercy. That's when the fans turned their back on Seth Rollins. We had a double turn. And that really is rare when there's a double turn. And he got them over as The Fiend, who was one of the coolest bad guys ever. He made Kane look beatable, original Kane. The Fiend was
Big Red Machine Kane.
Yeah, The Fiend was in a video game, he'd be ranked 99, right? Like, and until Goldberg refused. Goldberg refused to lose to him, and then that kind of ruined both their careers, and that's when he went away, which I could totally understand. And then he got jobbed out where Roman Reigns speared him at WrestleMania and said, you're not a monster, you're just a freak with a mask. And then after that, he went away, obviously, because he was pissed. You know, he's like, what the fuck, man? I'm the number one seller of merchandise. People wear my shit more than anything else. Look at WWE Shop. Look at when I come out. Why won't you fucking lay off, dude?
Yeah.
And I think it's also resentment because he's a third-generation wrestler, so his sins of the father and sins of the grandfather kind of carried over.
Wait, isn't Roman Reigns like third generation too?
Roman Reigns isn't third generation. Roman Reigns is in a family actually, no, wait. I think he's second generation. His dad's a Wild Samoan, if I'm not wrong. But the Anoa'i family are just, they're fucking everywhere. It's hard to keep track.
Yeah.
There's an Anoa'i family tree, and it's like The Rock's in it, Yokozuna's in it, Umaga's in it, Rikishi's in it, Usos are in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like that family, if your last name is Anoa'i and you want a job in wrestling, done.
Yeah.
You're in. Because they're like, there's no other wrestlers I could think. Randy Orton's the third generation.
Yep.
Cowboy Bob Orton started with him. And then, and I've actually seen Cowboy's matches. He was actually the one who invented the superplex.
Really?
The top rope suplex, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
What about Stardust? Him too. But
Stardust is also, Goldust, they're only second generation.
yeah,
Right? I mean, at least I think so.
wasn't Arn Anderson's
Wow,
kid
if you
wrestling
type
for a
in
while too?
anything Bray Wyatt related, it comes right up right now. So, we'll just watch like one of the recent ones just to show his progression and like how fucking charming and like shitty it is that we lost him. Let's see. How about the first one? Welcome to Bray's. Here we are.
Everyone in the order.
That's an ad. We're not going to watch this ad. We're going to talk through it.
Blah, blah,
Blah 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 blah. Here
We
we
don't
go.
sponsor us. We don't play
Yeah.
you.
We're really glad that you're our friend, and this is a friendship that'll never ever end.
What in the Pee Wee's Playhouse?
Oops, sorry. I just got excited.
Did you miss me? So, how I have missed you. But I knew that we would be back together again someday. I saw it in my dreams. This is the Firefly Funhouse. And my name is Bray Wyatt. Yowie wowie! We're gonna have so much fun here. This is my special place. And all my Fireflies can feel safe here. And I cannot wait to show you all what I've learned. Oh, and I want to introduce you to some very special friends that I met along the way.
The shit is that?
Mercy the Buzzard.
Yeah, I'm Mercy, the Buzzard.
He's based off William Mercy. That's Sister Abigail.
You are going to love them. Now, I used to be a very bad man. Okay, I deserve that. But trust me, I have been barbarically punished for all of my wrongdoings. And that part of me is dead now.
That is actually
However,
a shot at Vince.
I
Yeah.
do keep a reminder so that not even in my weakest moments will I ever turn into that pathetic slob loser ever again. See? Oh.
By the way,
Weird. Cutting an effigy of yourself.
well, that's because he really dude, he had some fucking weird emotional problems, and he went through like one of the worst divorces ever.
Getting started here. And remember, Fireflies. I'll always light the way, and all you have to do is let me in. I'll see you next week.
So I'm basically showing you guys the faces of Mr. Wyatt, Mr. Rotunda.
He was always good, though.
Dude, he was great.
Even in something as weird as that. Like, when it comes to wrestlers, for me, there are 3 categories. There are the athletes, the guys who are really technical, the guys who can flip and do all that shit. There are the fucking bodybuilders where it's like, I'm just in really good shape. And, like, fucking Brock Lesnar.
Exactly.
But then there's the entertainers, the guys who fucking
that get you in but also he was great in the ring.
Yeah.
Like, he was great. Like, he only had bad matches with people that were too demanding, such as Goldberg. When he fought Cena, I know it was like a kayfabe match. It was the Firefly Funhouse match, which was really weird, but it was great because they made fun of it. It was so tongue-in-cheek. It was ridiculous.
Nice.
But yeah, him and Cena had some great, and then him and his feud with fucking Randy Orton. And then they became tag team champions. They teamed up.
Okay.
That was great. And Randy Orton doesn't have bad matches. Let's just be honest. He doesn't. He can have mediocre matches, but never does he have a stinker. Even when he's working with Jinder Mahal, and that was probably some of his worst work, in my opinion. Well, because Jinder is he's a spectacle. He's not really a great wrestler. Hence why you don't see him on TV very much.
I didn't like Randy Orton until he became the Viper.
So anyway, that was the Firefly Funhouse version. That was right before what we saw. And then he would become the Fiend, and it was kind of cool. So I'll show you what the Fiend was. I was obsessed with this. I was working at Guitar Center. Dude.
Yeah.
I had all the Fiend shirts, every
I
piece
remember,
yeah.
Oh, Finn Balor.
It's all I need.
Yeah, Finn Balor. My wife likes this cunt.
Looking at those very, very tight trunks.
The only cool thing about Balor...
Surprisingly kind of flat.
Well,
you're looking at the map.
He is a fan of rainbow flags, but he also started the Bullet Club, so I can't really be mad at him.
He started the Bullet Club?
Yeah, when he was Prince Devitt. Dude, don't even start with me in wrestling. This is supposed to be a horror movie show, but one of the reasons why I bring all this stuff up is because Wyatt would have went into making movies. He was always on the subject of people or not always, but that about, but in dirt sheets, that's wrestling behind the scenes movies.
Yeah.
They always talked about him wanting to go do movies.
Okay.
I would love to see him do horror movies.
That's what he wanted to do.
Yes, he does.
I mean, because look, this is a horror movie. This guy's going to murder. He did too. I think this match only lasted 2 or 3 minutes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he got fucked up. That's why they did that shot with the halo.
He looked like Jesus.
Exactly. Wrestling's smart when they do this kind of shit. I'm gonna get a beer.
All right.
Wasn't Finn Balor the demon?
Yes.
But not here.
No. He gave that up.
75-cent
La,
bonus wings
la, la,
from Pizza Hut.
la.
You don't get ads.
Oh,
Fuck you.
Sweet Caroline. Ba, ba, ba. I don't know what happened.
Good cover, man. How dare they sneak in an ad at 45 seconds?
Freaking ridiculous.
This is everything about a horror movie, just in front of people. This is how I got David into wrestling. He didn't even want to be a fan. I showed him this, and he goes, "Okay, I might be back in." Dude, he comes out with his severed head. How cool is that? And it's his own, by the way.
Ah, nice.
That's creepy.
Freddy and Jason ain't got shit on the Fiend.
feel like this music was written by Devin Townsend.
It was written by a band called Agent Orange.
Oh, I know them. Okay.
Yeah, they did all of his music.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Even the intro we heard earlier. Yeah, they're good. Look at that. Look at the love and admiration that he gets. For a serial killer out of a horror movie. Straight up. And people love him. He beats the shit out of people and people cheer. They're like, yeah, kill him. Literally kill him. One of his finishing moves is it looked like he snapped your neck. Like, it was brutal.
It's so weird because you know he is. He's the boogeyman, but he does it well.
He's a boogeyman and Undertaker, but good.
Yeah.
I mean, not that Undertaker's not bad. The Undertaker's great. Now, imagine this. You know nothing of wrestling, and your friend drags you to a show, or you're just flipping through, and you're like, oh, what is this movie? I've never seen this before.
Yeah.
I didn't know the Insane Clown Posse wrestled.
Oh, they did. They actually did. They wrestled in... They wrestled in a couple of
Get
things,
NFL
dude.
Sunday
Line. From now on, that's our song when there's an ad.
Sweet Caroline?
Yes, it's got to be. So, shit, man. Any favorite matches to throw out there? I'd say the whole John Cena feud for me, the whole Randy Orton feud. If you just type in John Cena, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, there was a lot of feuds that with him just kept reoccurring because people liked working with him at the very top. They're like, I want to work with Bray some more.
Nice.
So he kind of had his pick of the litter of, yeah, and look, he wrestles in that goddamn jacket and just tears him up. But we're not here to watch wrestling. We're just here to talk about the man. But dude, look at that.
Kind of a thing that was really big during the time when I was watching, which was right after the Shield fell.
Oh, that's when I started watching again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started watching around then, and what was really big was those 3-man tag matches.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Faction matches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So honestly, him and the family
Versus the
New
Shield.
Day?
Oh, versus New Day. That was great.
Yeah.
I fantasy booked that so many times, and then they actually ended up doing it, which is hilarious because I think my phone is hooked up to Vince McMahon's brain. Because I was like, no, because I said, what about if they kidnap one of the members of the New Day and draw him into the Wyatt compound? And then they did it like 6 months later. And I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah. No, I loved the Wyatt family. The last thing I saw was like Braun Strowman getting brought in.
Yeah.
But like Eric Rowan was great.
He was
Luke Harper
underappreciated.
was great.
He, again, underappreciated.
Yeah.
Speaking about the family and last thing you've seen, we're already 30 minutes in. This is just going to be like a 10-minute message episode, but I mean, shit, he deserves it.
He does.
Gave me hours of entertainment, took tons of my money on merchandise. And it sucks. He's one of the wrestlers I always wanted to meet, never got to. I have met in a few wrestlers, not as much as I'd like to say. The biggest dick, by the way, is Honky Tonk Man. After Virgil. Virgil's the biggest piece of shit you ever saw.
I have no idea who either of those people
Virgil,
are, so I'm not missing out,
Tonk,
actually.
Virgil, get this, was a African-American gentleman who was Ted DiBiase's manservant.
That's a weird.
That just sounds terrible.
Yeah, it sounds like an awful.
That sounds
role to play.
absolutely terrible.
It happened.
So the only way he's got a career is if he played a manservant. Wow.
If I was Ted DiBiase's manservant, I'd be a fucking asshole too. He gets a pass now.
Well, he did join the NWO, but no one cared. They're like, fuck you, Virgil. And everyone to say, Virgil's a wiener. That was like a clap. He was, though. He sucked at wrestling. He just had a really good look. You know?
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, I like Bray Wyatt. I like what he did. He was never like one of my favorites, but my favorites were always like the scary types. I like Kane. I like Sting. And,
you like the heels.
Yeah, and he fit in with
not the goofy heels like say Ric Flair, even though Ric Flair's great, but he's not scary or intimidating because he just goes, no, don't hit me, don't hit, and then hits you in the balls.
Yeah.
Whereas
it was never Ric Flair.
Like I would love to meet the man Bray Wyatt, or love to, but when if he had his Fiend gear on, I wouldn't want to talk to him. I just go I just have my phone and do this. I'm like, I don't really want to talk to you, dude, because you're in your zone. Like he'd get into a zone where, where he'd be injured and wrestle through it, kind of shit.
Right. Well, he's the character.
Yeah, when he's in character, he is in. That's why he would have been perfect for movies. So we don't.
I mean, that's honestly one thing I really loved about Mankind.
Yes.
Is like when he was in character, That was it.
Have a nice
So
day.
that's why I'm comparing him to him, because I'm seeing the three faces of Windham.
Yeah.
As you saw, like, him being genuine, coming out to Shatter. You saw him being the Firefly Funhouse guy, him being the Fiend. And I want to end on this, because you could see Cena looks like, holy shit. Like, I am under Bray. So this is our last clip. I always show people when they're like, oh, you know, Bray sucks or this or that, or he's never good, or like, oh, he just babbles on about interviews. And this is usually rare, you know, or if I'm going, dude, Bray Wyatt's the best, I usually show him this video. So thank you all for listening to our special message out there to Windham Rotunda. We wish his family well. And JoJo, that really sucks for you too. Luckily, she's been gone, so I think that's another reason why she's been gone. They also did something weird where on 2K, the newest wrestling game, they had him as a downloadable character like a week ago.
Oh.
And then a lot of people speculated it was going to be him and Randy Orton as a farewell match, like they were both going to leave.
Yeah.
Like it was going to be their like bow out, you know, kind of match. And there was all the speculation. They re-released his music like a couple of days ago, and they've been doing all this stuff, and we were wondering there was going to be a big comeback, and then nope, and then this.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We have no details, and you know, I mean, Google it yourself. Like, we're not going to give like updates on this. It just I felt like doing a tribute, and Rob was like text me on my way home, dude, Bray. And I'm like, I know, we'll talk about it. That's why I didn't want to bring it up to you.
Yeah.
Because I found out around like 3:00, but okay. So we're going to leave you with my favorite promo, and it is visual, but it doesn't need to be visual. This is Bray Wyatt's feud with John Cena, where John Cena actually gets so creeped out, like you could see he's like, what the fuck? Anyway.
Thank you, Bray.
Thank you, Bray. Thank you, Bray.
Thank you, Bray.
A guy like Bray Wyatt, it won't be long before it's Bray Wyatt versus the world. And at that point, the world's not going to have a chance. See,
he's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the little bitty baby in his hands.
What
He's got
is
the
going on?
little bitty baby in his hands. He's got the little bitty baby in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got you and me, brother, in his hands. He's got you and me, sister.
What?
In his hands, he's got you and me, brother. In his hands, he's got the whole world in his hands. He's got everybody here. In his hands, he's got everybody here. In his hands, he's got everybody here. In his hands, he's got the whole world in his hands.
He's got the whole world in his hand. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hand. He's got the whole world in his hand. Sing with me, children, little bitty babies. He's got the little bitty babies in his hand. He's got the little bitty babies in his hand. He's got the little
In his hand, he's got the whole world in his hand. How about the whole sea nation? He's got the whole sea nation in his hand. He's got the whole sea nation in his hand. He's got the whole sea nation in his hand. He's got the whole world in his hand. Now, kids, how about the big bad monster? He's got the big bad monster in his hand. He's got the big bad monster in his hand. He's got the big bad monster in his hand. He's got the whole.
Oh my God.
Sweet Caroline.